Welcome back to another edition of Bobcat Corner Live. I'm your host, Stephen Vitz. And for those of you new to this channel, if you haven't subscribed yet, please click the notification bell so you can get updates on the content that I create here on this channel. And yes, I have a Ko-fi account. You can click on that link in the description box below, which I'll be adding here afterwards. But anyway, getting to the game that was on hand last night, there were a couple delays because of weather conditions due to lightning and thunderstorms and things of that nature. But after all that was settled, the Ohio Bobcats came through as expected, considering who they were playing against, which was the UMass Minutemen, the only winless team in FBS right now. Uh, the score was 42-14. Bobcats prevailed. Overall, good result. We won the game. I'm glad we did. And yeah, I mean, not much to really say about this game other than, yeah, we took care of business, even though we had to sit out a couple times because of the weather delays, the lightning delays. Even before game time started, there was like a 14-minute delay because of lightning in the area. And then during the game, like right before halftime, there was like a 35-minute delay due to thunderstorms and lightning. So that kind of messed up things a little bit when it comes to timing. But other than that, everything was on point here for the Ohio Bobcats, as much on point as it had to be. Final score is good. Let's just get to it. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to the game itself. Obviously, I did not spend any time discussing the UMass Minutemen in any shape or form. No disrespect to them, but they were winless going into this game. UMass, they were winless, 0-10. Just not much to talk about. Just really, just a team that was struggling, UMass. So knowing who we were facing against, I was like, okay, Ohio should take care of business with this game, and it's at home, the home finale at on Frank Solich Field. So we had to take care of business, especially against this opponent, and we did. So first quarter, um, by the way, UMass used three quarterbacks in this game because one because of injury, and the other two is like performance related. So you could tell where that was going with UMass. But anyway, first quarter, UMass did strike first, which did concern me a little bit. Uh, their quarterback, Brandon Rose, who was not the starting quarterback, Brandon Rose passed to Owen Anderson for a 10-yard touchdown pass, 12 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the first quarter, made it 7-0 UMass. I was like, okay, it's early. I'm not going to worry about this. Even though I wish we did not give up this initial score, it is what it is, 7-0 UMass. But right after that, we did have an answer. Parker Navarro punched in a 2-yard touchdown run like he usually does around the end, the red zone. Tied it 7-7 with 6 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the first quarter. I knew we were going to have a quick response after that. So I was not worried about that initial score. So 7-7 tied. And then later on, right before the first quarter ended, UMass fumbled the football, and it was recovered by Pius Ajugo, who was, had a presence in this game on defense. That fumble was recovered on the 38-yard line with 56 seconds to go. That was on a fourth down, by the way. UMass was trying to convert a fourth down, but they weren't able to. They got stopped and they fumbled it. So, as was the case for UMass all season. So, anyway, second quarter. Unfortunately, we had our own issues sometimes converting fourth downs. This one in particular, second quarter, we were trying to drive, but we had a turnover on downs, weren't able to convert like a 4th and 3, I believe. We turned the ball over back to UMass with 13:30 to go in the second quarter. However, that did not hurt us because later on, with 7 minutes, 12 seconds to go, Duncan Brune, one of our running backs, Duncan Brune had a 13-yard touchdown run uh, as part of a 7-play, 64-yard drive that made it 14-7 Bobcats. It was just a matter of time. How I can describe this game, it was just a matter of time before we found our footing, so to speak. And once we did, we were going to be off and running. And this was the type of game, just like I said last week at Western Michigan, this was, again, the kind of game where you just give it to the running back. You just let the running backs do what they have to do, ground and pound, use the clock. This was that kind of game again. And against a less than formidable team in UMass, again, no disrespect, but there was no reason to pass the ball all over the place in this game. And thankfully, we got the memo this time. So 14-7 Bobcats, second quarter. And it's still in the second quarter. Interception. UMass threw an interception. Jack Freeze got this one 5 minutes, 54 seconds to go. And then we were driving deep in UMass territory, about to score another touchdown. It was with 3 minutes, 52 seconds to go that the referees called another weather delay because of lightning in the area. That's where the 35-minute delay happened. But once we came back on the field, we punched it in. C.A. Bengura, who I'm going to talk about a lot in this game. C.A. Bengura punched it in, 3-yard touchdown run with 3:47 to go right after that. So that was like 21-7 Bobcats. Okay, we were doing good. So, and also kind of funny at the end of this first half, twice this happened for UMass. Derek Morris, their kicker, normally more reliable than he is. But in this game, Derek Morris, he attempted a 55-yard field goal, and then right before halftime, right before first half finished, he attempted another 47-yard field goal. Both times he missed. That reminded me clearly about what's going on with our kicking situation, but thankfully Derek Morris plays for UMass. So, yeah. Unfortunately, though, when it comes to stuff like this, UMass was still driving to get into field goal range. And this is where I'm also going to talk about discipline issues regarding our team committing penalties. That would not be even possible for UMass if we just stay disciplined. So I'm going to be talking about that when we get to the end here. So basically, because of the weather delays, because of what happened with the lightning delays, halftime was pretty much skipped. Very short halftime, if anything. So not really much of a halftime break period. So we just go right into the third quarter, which we will here. Parker Navarro, he had a great game on the ground running. We know what Parker Navarro can do when he's running with the ball. But he had a good 22-yard run, but then he fumbled it early in the third quarter. It was picked up by Chanel Davis of UMass, 13:23 to go. I wish that would not happen. Sometimes when you have a dual threat quarterback, whether it's Parker Navarro or anybody, you have to expect sometimes that they may have ball security issues, and that's what happened here with this fumble. So UMass got it back with that fumble recovery, and then with that, one of their other quarterbacks, UMass, Grant Jordan, he was there for the rest of the way for UMass. Passed it to Elijah Pedro, 9-yard touchdown pass with 8 minutes, 56 seconds to go in the third quarter, 21-14. So they cut our lead down to 7, 1 touchdown margin here. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, guys, please start waking up here because this is UMass we're talking about. This is the worst team in college football right now. We got to get going. We got to wake up. And thankfully we did. That's as many points as UMass would score in this game, thankfully. We got the memo again. We woke up and we just took it to them right after this. Because I noticed that throughout this game, early and late throughout this game, we were utilizing our running game very effectively. We knew that UMass could not stop the run. So we were like, okay, let's just keep running it. Let's just keep giving it to our running backs. Let's keep letting Parker Navarro run it when he has to. So I like that. I did like that we understood that, yeah, this is a running kind of game. Let's just do it. Case in point, C.A. Bengura on one drive broke out a 25-yard run and then a 24-yard run. Excuse me. And then he punched it in from 2 yards out, 2-yard touchdown run with 3:57 to go in the third quarter. That made it 28-14 Bobcats. Okay, we're starting to put distance between ourselves and UMass. That's good. So now we get to the fourth quarter. And I mean, the game is well in hand for us at this point. UMass was trying to get something going with about 10 and a half minutes to go. in the fourth quarter. But Grant Jordan got sacked by Derek Reagans to turnover on downs. Okay, we get the ball back, good. And then right after that, we made UMass pay again. C.A. Bangura broke out another good 33-yard run. That was on a key third down play. Third down of 4 yards to go play. Bangura broke out that 33-yard run. That was good. And then shortly after that, with 6 minutes 46 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, Parker Navarro broke out a 4-yard touchdown run. Easy run in for a 35-14 lead for the Bobcats. Okay, good. We're putting distance between ourselves and UMass again. I mean, the game was well in hand at that point. 21 point lead. At that point, I was like, okay, we're going to get this. Just a matter of time. And then back on defense for the Bobcats. Another interception. This time, Tank Pearson finally producing, getting a productive play on his part. 6 minutes 7 seconds to go. Interception there for Tank Pearson. We get the ball back. And then a little bit later on, Duncan Brune punches in a 1-yard touchdown run. 2 minutes 11 seconds to go. And that's your final score right there. 42-14. Going to put it up here. Stand up and cheer. 42-14, Ohio over UMass. You know, never really in doubt. Although there was just some points where it's like, okay, guys, just wake up a little bit. That's all I'm just saying. But yeah, got the win. Bobcat flag is up. We win, so that's good. So basically, I'm going to get to the individual stats before I get to these separate banners here describing my thoughts going forward here. Individual stats, Parker Navarro, going to be talking about him more in depth here in a few minutes, but passing just wasn't good for Parker Navarro. Weather conditions factor in a little bit to that, but also Navarro, he does need to start studying what's going on, what's going wrong with him lately in the passing game. 3 for 8, 28 yards. Running, he's doing good as always. 14 rushes for 81 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. That part is good. You know Navarro is good for that. Just hope he can do better with the passing game soon. And then C.A. Bangura, going to be talking about him quite a bit. Might as well do it right now. C.A. Bangura, what can you say about him? He moves into, from what I hear, he moves into 5th place in all time in the record books for Ohio University. He moves into 5th place all time in rushing yards. Got quite a bit here in this game. 14 carries for 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not much more to say. C.A. Bangura, he's going to be known as one of the better players that we've had in our history in Ohio University. So hats off to him. C.A. Bangura, always a workhorse, always putting in the hard work to get stuff done on the field. Great game by him. And I'm glad he came back after spending last year in Minnesota. Bangura has been getting back to form. He has been all year. He's been that force once again. So hats off to C.A. Bangura. He did what he had to do. Good job with our running game. No complaints there. We know what we got with our running game, and that's good. So other individual stats, the other running back, Duncan Brune, put in good work too. 14 carries for 84 yards, 2 touchdowns. So also with the defense, I want to get to defense a little bit because not much is said about them when it comes to stats, but I'm going to read off stats here. Jack Freeze, our linebacker, they came back recently. I'm glad to have him back. He's healthy again. 10 tackles total, 5 of them solos, 1.5 tackles for losses, and 1 interception, of course, for Jack Freeze. Adonis Williams Jr., 9 total tackles, 4 of them solos, and Jalen Thomason, 8 tackles, 3 of them solos, 1 forced fumble. So good production there for our defense. And even with our defensive linemen, Nehemiah Dukes and Anas Lukman, they had a considerable presence in this game. It was felt. That presence was felt in this game by both Dukes and Lukman. So shout out to them. I noticed the productivity from them too. So yeah, our defense was on point. Our defense did what they had to do and when the time called for it. So Um, yeah, so I want to get to these individual banners here to discuss with you guys what was going on in this game, especially even with the last game at Western Michigan, but this game as well with against UMass. Weather conditions factor in. This is going to fit into the to be fair, quote unquote, category. Weather conditions factor in. Um, it is what it is. I can't put it into words that sometimes weather conditions, no matter what it is, rain, snow, heavy winds, you name it, sometimes that can have an effect on a game, and you have to roll with it. You have to adjust accordingly. So I do believe, considering all the stuff that was going on this game with the heavy winds and the rain delays, lightning, and all that, I do believe our team, the Bobcats, they handled it well. They handled this situation well with the ever changing weather conditions. So keep this in mind, guys, that sometimes bad weather can factor into a game plan and how it's executed. So if it wasn't raining so much, if it wasn't that bad with the weather, maybe we would have seen Parker Navarro pass the ball more often, maybe. But yeah, weather conditions do factor in. But another thing I want to get into here, putting aside the weather conditions, would be this. Penalties, 5 for 60 yards. We did not commit that many penalties, thankfully. But for 60 yards and the types of penalties that they were, such as roughing the passer, unsportsmanlike conduct, stuff like that, it goes back to what I've been saying in past games where we committed more penalties for more yards. There is an underlying discipline issue going on here. And thankfully, it did not come back to bite us against UMass because it's UMass. But there is an underlying discipline issue here, and I'm hoping it gets fixed very soon. Like between now and next Friday, um, there is a discipline issue. Uh, I don't know what it is mentally about our team sometimes when we face a lot of pressure, whether we're on offense or on defense, and then something happens where we just do something that's so undisciplined. Uh, it does have to be corrected. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It does need to be corrected because I noticed in comparison to last year, and I know you're comparing different teams. Last year's team was different than this year's team, but I'm talking about mentality. Last year's team was more calm and collected compared to this year's team. Last year's team did not resort to doing stuff like this, not nearly as much anyway. And when I look at this year's team, it's like we get good plays, we develop good plays, we make good stops on defense, but then all of a sudden we do this. We commit a penalty like roughing the passer or pass interference or unsportsmanlike conduct at the worst possible times, like third or fourth down. And it's like, guys, you got to know when to not do that. And unfortunately, sometimes our team just doesn't get the memo when it comes to that, the penalties. So I'm hoping that gets cleaned up between now and next Friday when we play Buffalo. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, I'm hoping that this discipline issue gets fixed soon. Now, I want to get to this because I'm not going to be harsh about this, but I do want to point it out. I have to acknowledge it because I want to be real with you guys. I want to keep the record straight here. Right now, our passing game is cold. It has gone ice cold. Uh, and Parker Navarro, if he ever listens to any of this, I don't know if he does, but if Parker Navarro ever listens to this, I just want to let him know that, just hang in there, dude. Hang in there. I'm not going to be harsh about this, but I do need to point it out. The passing game has become ice cold lately, the last few games, especially last week at Western Michigan and just yesterday against UMass. I mean, three of 8 for 28 yards in the passing game. That's just not, even with the weather conditions. Something's got to be done about it. I'm hoping that Parker Navarro will hit the film room very often here between now and next Friday. I'm hoping that he identifies and recognizes what's going on with him in the passing game. He needs to make better reads. He has to make better reads. As the season progressed last season, I'm talking about last season, when last season progressed the way that it did, he was getting it. He was making better reads. He was making better calls with his throws, better decision making. But this year, it's like he's been like freezing up quite a bit. Uh, Either he's not progressing enough or he's just staying where he's at in development when it comes to passing the ball. And that's a problem. Right now, that is a problem. And if we're going to have any shot of competing for the MAC championship, which, with all the tiebreakers, scenarios, and all that, don't know about it. But if we're going to get back to Detroit, Parker Navarro has got to have a better game. He has to have at least a somewhat decent game next week at Buffalo in the passing game, for us to have a shot at this. And what we've been seeing last couple of weeks is not going to cut it when it comes to passing. So I'm hoping that some sort of goal, to put this in a nutshell, guys, to establish some sort of goal for Parker Navarro in the passing game next week, I'm hoping that he gets around 100 yards. If he can get us 100 yards, in the passing game next week, next Friday at Buffalo, then we might have a chance to balance things out again with our offense. But still utilizing the running game, because you have to establish the running game first. Buffalo, New York, you know what that is. Who knows what the weather conditions are going to be like up there in Buffalo, New York? You just don't know. You just don't know what the weather's going to be like in Buffalo, especially when you get into November. Hopefully, it's not going to be snowing on our heads in Buffalo, but I digress. If there's a chance for Parker Navarro to pass the ball a little bit, I hope he does a little bit at some point, like maybe second, third quarter, he can just start slinging it. But initially, we still have to establish the running game. We have to get C.A. Bangura and Duncan Broom going in the running game first. Make sure the running game is established first in Buffalo, and then let Parker Navarro do what he has to do in the passing game. If we do it in that order, we may have a shot at it. But again, don't know what the weather conditions are going to be like in Buffalo. I hope it's not going to be too bad. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, Parker Navarro, I just want to say to you, man, just hang in there. I mean, I know it's rough. I know you've been, excuse me, I know you've been struggling a little bit lately in the passing game. Just hang in there. Just hit the film room more often. Study what needs to be addressed and just fix it. So, um, if there was ever a game for you to go out in style, this would be it next week, next Friday at Buffalo. And this is going to be the last regular season game for Parker Navarro. It's been said already that this is going to be the last year in college for Parker Navarro. So I'm pretty sure he would want to go out on a good note. And so, with that said, I'm going to get to my bottom line. The bottom line here is this: end the regular season the right way. And so, what do I mean by that? It's pretty simple. We have to come up with an executed game plan. We have to come up with the right kind of game plan up there in Buffalo, where we can have an established running game, but still be able to pass the ball a little bit. We have to have a good mix of run and pass. And our defense has to be on point. Our defense has to still bring it and still understand the situation, especially on third and fourth down. Buffalo will be formidable, regardless of what happens here later today, because Buffalo is scheduled to play a game against Miami of Ohio later today, Wednesday night. So, regardless of what happens there, I'm pretty sure we're going to get Buffalo's best shot next Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Hopefully, everything turns out well there, because this is going to be it. This is going to be the last chance for us next Friday to show football fans what we can do, what we can be able to do. So, and as far as like tiebreakers go, guys, I've been aware of that. I've been keeping keeping tabs on that as far as where we're at with tiebreakers. There's definitely a logjam here for second place in the MAC standings. Western Michigan, by all intents and purposes, I'm pretty sure the Western Michigan Broncos, they're going to be one of those teams. There's no doubt in my mind. They're going to be, just pencil them in. Pencil in Western Michigan as one of those teams going into Detroit, Michigan. So if it's going to be us, if it is going to be the Ohio Bobcats, we're going to be facing Western Michigan again in Detroit in the MAC championship game. If it's us, there are tiebreaker scenarios where it's like, oh, Toledo has the edge over us no matter what. Central Michigan might have something to say about it. Uh, and for the life of me, I don't understand why people are still factoring in Miami of Ohio, even though we beat them head to head. Sometimes I don't get tiebreaker scenarios, but yeah. And Buffalo, don't count them out yet. Buffalo, we still got to take care of them next week, like I said. So second place is up in the air in the MAC standings, and so we still got something to play for. We have to take care of our business, end the regular season the right way, as this banner says. Just finish the season. Finish the season the right way. End it the right way. Finish the season 8-4, 6-2 overall in MAC play, and see what happens. See where the chips fall, so to speak. That's all we can do. That's all we can control right now. And if we don't make it via tiebreakers, then we don't make it. But if we finish the season 8-4, we'll at least have that kind of confidence going into next year, regardless of what happens with our bowl game. We'll have that confidence going into next year saying, okay, we're still on the right track. We could still develop into something really good here. I do hope we have another shot of defending the MAC championship, but stuff happens. So, guys, if you are watching this right now, just going to say it right now, please leave a comment. The chat is active right now. It's a live stream. If you guys want to leave a comment right now, I'm just going to be here for a few more minutes. But that was my bottom line. Going back to the final score here, we took care of business against UMass 42-14. Yeah, not much to say. And again, no disrespect intended to UMass, but they're just not a good team. UMass is not a good team right now. So we were expected to win this game by quite a bit of points, and we did just that. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below or in the chat box right now, because I got a few minutes to spare here. So yeah, I'm going to take this time right now, since I do have time. I'm going to take this time right now to talk about what I got planned for this channel, STB Castle. I am going to be entering like a slow time period here for STB Castle here. I do have another interview planned for Steven Interviews You, episode 20, and that's going to be the 2025 year finale for that. So be on the lookout for that interview, probably around this upcoming weekend, I think. So be on the lookout for that for Steven Interviews You, episode 20. STV Castle Chess, I've not forgotten about that series, although I've put it in the back seat, so to speak, because I'm trying to plan up something different for that. Different presentation for STV Castle Chess, as I've said before. So probably starting next week or so, I might start doing something about that again. And Bobcat Corner, obviously, when I can update it, I will. So, yeah, well, I'm going to be talking about the Buffalo game very soon here. And hopefully I can get something going as far as a preview show between myself and a Buffalo fan. That's kind of a hint right there. Trying to get something scheduled between myself and a Buffalo Bulls fan. So hopefully we can do that. So I'm going to try to be a guest on a Buffalo Bulls fan channel. I'll update you about that if we can get it going. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this game. If any of you guys watch this game at all, let me know what you guys think going forward here. Give me your thoughts on the upcoming Buffalo game. Do we have a chance against the Buffalo Bulls next Friday? We're 7-4. We have an outside chance at this. So let's just try to do it. End the regular season the right way. So yeah, that's basically going to be it for me. Going to be a short review here. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like I said in the beginning, if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. Click the notification bell, get the updates. My Ko-fi account is right there. The link, you see that on the ticker on the bottom there. And so, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Any suggestions would be appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Stephen Vitt reporting, and I'll be back with more content soon. Take care, guys.